no, not yet.
You have done it already. You can't say no, not yet. I've already hit the button. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Are we live on Instagram as well?
No, I can do that whilst we're on here because I have to input a key and it's just all there.
I don't know why Instagram are working on all sorts of things. Why they can't just sort out this API key thing? I don't know. But we're here. We're live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Here we go. Another week, episode 201. Kim thought we'd be done at 200 episodes, but no, we're still going. We're still going. But this week, there is... Say again? What'd you say?
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah. This week, there's loads of news. There's loads of stuff, right? And there's loads of stuff this week, and there's some stuff that I thought, yeah, I'm not that interested. So there's some stuff around X that I'm not really that interested in. So I haven't got those for us to talk about. And there's some stuff around Threads, which again, I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I haven't got those in the mix. But yeah, there's so much happening this week. It's like it feels like, because we've had a couple of weeks where there's not been a lot going on. So it just feels like brilliant. People are working on stuff. There's things to talk about. Although some of it is really interesting and gets you thinking, and some of it is like a bit meh. So yeah. So first of all, we were just having a chat. Do you know my throat's really dry? I'm gonna have to keep clearing my throat. Got a nice cup of tea here. Keep me going.
Nice. You just keep working away in the background. I am trying to connect to Instagram because
is it still not doing it?
They don't allow us to do it like a normal.
Just leave it. Don't worry about it.
Bear with me. No. I will not be beaten. I'm just saving it now.
There you go. Looks like it's live on Instagram as well. Amazing. Okay, so first bit of news then. We were talking about it because I said, WhatsAppers. Basically, WhatsApp have updated the UI, the user interface in the app. Now, on iOS, it's like hardly anything different. But it is quite different on Android. And basically what they're doing is they're making it look more like Messenger. So a few years ago, they said they wanted to bring these two together, make it really seamless between Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp. And it's not really happened, but it does feel like they keep taking steps every day. It's like they go, oh yeah, we're supposed to be working on that. And then they do a bit more work on it. But you got proper excited because you hadn't had the update and you were like, hold on a minute, went to the App Store, updated it.
I have now.
But on iOS, it is like basically your notifications now are green instead of blue. You've got are you seeing the filters at the top of your chats? Yeah, so you can filter blue and red or whatever.
And you can filter by groups. This is great.
Yeah, just look at the group. I know. What I'd love is to be able to filter it so you're looking at just messages from people, like a feed of one-to-ones and a feed of groups. Yeah. That's what I'd like. And I actually think they should ban groups and turn everything into communities. Because there are some things now where community, there's a couple of WhatsApp groups I'm in. Communities would be so much better.
Yeah. So
much better. But yeah, so on iOS, the changes are pretty minor, really. But on Android, it actually looks pretty different. So now, obviously, we don't have Android phones. So I've only seen screenshots of that. But it does, on Android, it does definitely look far more like Messenger. So, yeah.
And actually, do you know what? Now that I've updated my phone and I'm in the cool club, I don't like the green that they've put. It's like a duller green.
It kind of, because mine updates automatically. So I opened the app and it was green and I was like, that wasn't green before. And then I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember. But you know, when you look at something, you're like, that's different. But you can't remember what it looked like before.
Wow.
And so, because I had to ask you, didn't I? You know, what color were the notifications before? Random. So yeah, so that's it on the WhatsApp update. sort of news for some, no news for others. There's a few things around. So Meta, quick one on Meta. So I don't know if you will remember this because it's kind of before your time with Green Umbrella. Basically, back in the day, before Teams was a thing, like loads of people were using Slack, and Meta basically created their version of it called Workplace. So like they were using Slack, they were using something called Yammer as well, and Meta created their own version of it. And basically, they're shutting it down. So they launched this in about 2015. And so if you think, like I said, Yammer, I don't really hear anyone talking about Yammer anymore. Don't even know if it's still a thing. Slack is still very popular. A lot of people using Slack, creating communities on Slack. In 2017, 2018, Microsoft introduced Teams because they were like, they could see this sort of opportunity as well. And obviously, when you're using Teams, most bigger organizations are using Outlook anyway. So it was kind of like it was all one system rather than having here's a system for this and one for that and one for that. So it made sense that they switched to Teams. And basically, although Meta is saying that they've seen increases in people taking up Workplace, they're retiring it anyway. But do you know why I think it is?
Go on.
Well, they've been doing loads of work on Metaverse, and they reckon that their prediction is that sort of 28, 29, 30, that like the whole Metaverse thing will be such a big thing that actually Workplace, Teams, Slack, none of that will exist anymore because we'll be in the Metaverse instead. So I reckon they're just closing it down because what's the point of continuing to work on it when they've got another team over there working on building Metaverse? They can just switch that team over there and work on basically recreating Workplace, but in the Metaverse. So that's my thinking. The other thing with it as well, and this is general business, right?
Yeah.
You end up with most businesses begin and they have one core product. And then they introduce a second product and a third and a fourth and a fifth. And we've done this ourselves. You end up in a situation where you're doing so many things. And actually, you need to take it back a step or two and be absolutely focused and put all your energy into this is what we do. This is our strategic plan. This is what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
The fewer things you're focused on, the better you deliver them. Right, it's a bit like having a to-do list. So like if you're trying to do 20 things all at once on your to-do list, it takes forever and you're probably going to do a half-assed job. Whereas if you just focus on the one thing, someone ringing you?
Yeah, the people. Yes, yeah.
Don't they know?
Just some podcast people. Just some podcast people. Don't worry about it.
So I also think it is like they're having to make Meta are making cutbacks, same as many other businesses, and especially the Silicon Valley type names over the last 18 months. They've made so many job cuts. So again, I think it is just refocusing. And let's face it, how is it? Like I said, Slack is slightly different because of how long it's been running, the fact that people use it as communities, not just as a workplace communication tool. But if you just think of that use case, must be really hard to compete with Teams.
Yeah.
Even that, like we use Teams. Well, we have Teams. You and I are not very good at using it.
We have WhatsApp.
I don't love Teams, right? I don't love it.
Are you?
No, I freaking hate it. However, if we had 3,000 people in the business,
yeah,
the way it integrates with diaries and OneDrive and SharePoint and your email and everything, of course it makes sense to use that rather than anything else. Now, I've no idea which is a superior tool, Workplace or Teams, but yeah, why would you buy in to another system when you've kind of got one that works already.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's another bit of that for me. That's really interesting because I do think it is about putting more focus into their future plans. I think it's a strategic move, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, probably not that interesting for everyone else. Don't know. Are you thrilled with that information?
I just won't entertain the metaverse. It's just, there's a few things that are bothering me lately. Just the world's gone mad, Christina.
Yeah, but 2 years ago, I wasn't entertaining AI.
Same, but that's not the point. I'm not there yet.
Not there yet. Okay, TikTok. I've got a bit of TikTok news.
Go on.
So we've been through this cycle of everyone copying TikTok. I say everyone. Instagram copying TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, TikTok are testing a collaboration feature. So in this particular situation, TikTok. So
nice.
Yeah, other way around. So you can, if you create, so like I said, this is what they're testing. When you do collaboration, you can collaborate, you can add 4 collaborators, whereas on Instagram, you can add 5. And you can only do, so like you're maxed on how many collaboration posts you can do each month.
Oh, okay.
Whereas on Instagram, it's unlimited. So yeah, so they're testing that at the minute. So I thought that was interesting. Nice to see it.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
So there's that one too. And okay, should we talk about the juicy one?
Go on.
Now, I haven't spoken to you about this at all.
No. Why do I feel like you're going to throw something on me?
No, I just so we talk about AI all the time and the difference it makes to our clients, how they can use it in their businesses, how like what's the right way to use it, the wrong way to use it, all that kind of thing. Okay. Now, Google, a couple of days ago, they had their big conference, if you like. Okay, it's called the I/O conference. And basically within this, they announced some plans around AI and search. So it's a little bit out of our remit, if you like, because social's what we do. We don't do traditional SEO services. We help clients with blogs and we advise them on things they can do with their websites to improve their SEO and increase their position in rankings. But it's not something that is, you know, that I wouldn't consider myself to be an expert in SEO, but I do know the most.
A bit. Yeah.
So basically, one of the things they announced, right, I'll tell you the short one first. Right, I love this. Do you ever have like something's not working?
Me, usually.
You're like, maybe it's a gadget or something that just, well, it's not working the way it should, or it's doing something it shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And you go to Google it, but you'd like trying to find the best way to the right words to describe what it is that's going on. You'll be able to shoot a video of whatever the thing is and what it's doing and just say, why is this doing this? What's wrong with this? So the examples that they're giving, so there's a guy who's like, he's got a camera and his, I don't know what it's called. You know, like he's putting a cog across and it won't go all the way. And he's like getting frustrated. So he videos it and he's like, why won't this go all the way?
Right.
But obviously the AI can recognize it's a video of a camera and the position of the thing on the camera that is being shown. And then the words, why won't this go across? And Google the AI then gives him the Google results. I'm like a video of something going, how do I fix this? I love that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't in that world.
No, I love it. I love it. It's just mad that it's just
crazy that you could do it.
I mean, we might not all be on hoverboards, but we're close.
I'm like,
do you know what I mean? I feel like Yeah, it just blows my mind. It blows my tiny, teeny, tiny mind.
I'm well excited for that. There was another one where it's like the videos of a record player, like a vinyl thing, and the
I know
arm.
what a record player is.
Yeah. I didn't know if I'd use the right words because it's, you know, I'm like, what do people actually call
I
them?
think I learned it in history when I was at school.
Shouldn't do that live, should I? See, I forget myself all the time. Okay, so the arm on the record player, basically, like the arm's getting stuck and going back and getting stuck, and the video is like something like, you know, why won't this go all the way, or why is this happening? And it's brilliant. I'm like, oh my god, I want to live in that world. It's going to be amazing.
So now we won't have the keyboard warriors on Facebook going, oh, you could just Google it. You know, when somebody asks a question, chances are, if you've asked a question on Facebook, unless you're completely not on this planet, you've already done the Googling bit, and there's that many conflicting stories that you just want somebody who potentially has been through the same thing.
This brings me to the next thing. So you do your Google search, and right now we get a list of responses and we need to figure out which one we're going to respond to. Oh, Kim's vanished. Just me live then. She just froze for me. Don't know if she froze for you as well and vanished. So let's just give her a second. So yeah, at the minute on Google, you do your search and you get a load of responses. What's going to happen is we're going to get a panel at the top of Google instead. And basically the information in there is AI generated. So in theory, whatever you're Googling, you're not going to have to click through all the links to find the answer. You will just have this panel at the top with your AI-driven answer, which obviously is coming from all these pages that the AI has read, filtered, understood to produce that response. So Paul's just said Kim must be Googling record players. Weird she's not reappearing. Must be something to do with her Wi-Fi connection, maybe. Who knows? I'll just carry on. So yeah, I really wanted to hear Kim's response to that. Now, realistically, as this rolls out, it is going to make a difference to the SEO advice that comes out when people are talking about. So she's just said, bear with her. So she'll be back. She'll find a way. She'll reappear. Kim, I've got half an eye on my WhatsApp as well. If you need to, we'll figure out what's going on. So yeah, this change, I think some people will be panicking, thinking I put all this effort into my SEO strategy, I've written loads and loads of blogs, and now people are, they're going to, here she comes, She's probably going to join from her phone now. There she is.
I'm so sorry. I realised that my laptop wasn't plugged in. So as I put the charger in, that happened. I don't understand. Yeah.
It's all right. We're all good. We're all good. Have you missed, or could you hear what I was saying?
Oh, no. I could. Well, my brain was in full panic mode. So
all right. So you do your Google search. Instead of you having to click through all the links, there will just be a panel at the top, which is AI giving you the answer to your Google search.
Love that.
But the problem is that then means people are going to read that. They're not going to be clicking through to the individual articles.
That's not a good thing.
So there will be, I think in the next 12 months, there will be a significant shift. There will be a significant shift in people's SEO strategies. So I think some people will just drop their SEO strategy thinking, well, there's no point because everything's AI anyway. Bad decision. And I think there's also going to be a shift in the advice that people are given in terms of their SEO strategy as well. Now, right now, I'm unsure of what the right move is going to be. What I feel is that we still need to be creating the content. We still need to be writing blogs, and because essentially the information that is being used to generate AI responses comes from the pages and pages and pages of information that is out there on the internet. So we're creating this content, and no, not necessarily, maybe no, we're not going to get the traffic that we did. But if we want to be, the AI response will be there, and if you ask what the sources are, it will direct people back to sources.
Yeah.
You want to be one of those sources. If you did a search for, so I'm in not so sunny Braintree right now. I arrived at Braintree station yesterday. There were no taxis on the rank, and it was kind of like there was just it's a bit eerie actually. There was no one around, so I'm like, taxis near me. Well, an AI response is going to give me suggestions of the taxi companies, and therefore there would be a link through to that. So I think we do still need to be creating the content, providing the answers that can then be used by large language, but by the AI basically, by the large language models. Most of the searches that are done are information searches rather than such and such near me, or a search based on a product.
Yeah.
Okay. They're more like the how-to style searches, or the why style searches. So I do feel that we do still need to be providing that content, but I just think there will be a shift in terms of probably how often we create it. It might be that there's a shift in the tone, so that it becomes, maybe we go back to a place where actually we are doing more selling, if you like, within our information posts, knowing that we're getting less traffic there, but it's more filtered traffic, therefore more likely to engage with us and become prospects. So it's early days in terms of what's going to happen with SEO, but I do think we need to start thinking about actually, like, what is the strategy going to be going forwards?
Yeah.
Because this stuff is just going to continue to develop and develop and develop.
That's mad, isn't it? I like it because my go-to when things break or don't work is I just throw it away. And I know that's not great before everybody comes for me, but if my brain can't handle it, I just go, it's not happening. It's got to go. So actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Karen's just put on LinkedIn. She said, maybe the strategy, like the strategic part, maybe people look more towards paid content because they're worrying about losing the traffic. Absolutely. But then, again, that paid traffic, we've really got to think about, okay, what we're putting out there to create awareness, to create interest, before we actually feed them the content that is going to make them go, yes, I'm definitely working with that business, and take the action to work with that business. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy what's going to happen. But I think this change, and I can't remember the timeline actually for when it was rolling out. I was more excited about the tech element of it. I didn't actually look at staging dates and things. It'll happen over, months and years rather than days and weeks, for sure. But I said it is really exciting. Paul's just said AI is going to save you money on your tech, Kim.
It'll save me a fortune.
And on your carbon footprint.
Oh, what?
And on your carbon footprint.
Yep.
She's got no guilt at all about that one. Do you know, I can't say that I try particularly hard when it comes to carbon footprint, but it is something I think about.
Yeah.
I do think about it. So I was, again, like yesterday, I got the train and I called the taxi after my Google search, and I was there and I was looking, where's Trainline? I didn't realise Trainline tells you how much you've saved because of your, like, a sustainability story. I don't know why I always stutter when I say that word.
It's a bit, isn't it?
So I have saved 913 kilos. That's my CO2 saving. That's since 2021.
Right.
Just in travel.
Good.
So it's the same as not using your washing machine for 7 years. That's quite
well,
a lot.
You haven't used your washing machine for 7 years.
This is true.
Not that she doesn't. Never mind.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kim. Appreciate you. It's this amount of CO2 absorbed by 3 trees over the course of 24 years.
Good.
It is interesting. It is interesting. Paul, yes, I remember Paul is, he's involved in a project. Well, actually, I'd say it's a project. I don't know if it was an ongoing project or whether it's just a one-off thing. But yeah, he offsets his carbon footprint for his business, which I think is really cool, getting people committing to that and helping him with that. Yeah.
I don't know anything about all of that to be interested. Does that make sense? And that's really, I know I'm going to sound like an absolute Neanderthal, but I don't even know if that's the right word, but I
there
know
are tiny things you can do. So it's silly things.
I know. And I do, yeah. I don't recycle. And the reason for that is I live in a I'm not Anne Frank, small flat. And there's nowhere to be put in a recycling thing, and to go up and down to I'm just lazy, Christina, right? It's too much. Life's hard enough without having to wash out my yogurt pots. Do you know what I mean? It's just not for me.
All right. We need to do something about that.
Okay. We probably do. It's just a lot.
All right.
It's life admin. You know how I struggle with life admin.
But they're right. So we need to find someone that is like the carbon footprint expert and get them to come on here and talk about, because there are some like just like crazy basic things you can do. Like things.
I'm here to be educated.
Things like I only boil enough water for my cuppa.
That I do. That is one thing I do. That is one thing that I do because I read that it saves more energy, and but from a selfish point of view, don't want to waste my money.
And there's a lot of stuff I reuse as well that
such
probably
as
more people wouldn't.
Go
on. Sort of packaging things. I'm kind of like, so like I wash out Ziploc bags and reuse them.
Oh, I've got a friend that does that. Yeah.
What else do I do that's probably not mainstream? I don't know, because I just do stuff.
I mean, I might do stuff without even realising it. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not educated in it. And I know that's really stupid, and like I should care more, and I should care more. But with everything else going on, I don't even know what day of the week it is.
Do you know one thing I've always wanted to know, right, is that it's like people that use timer plugs for their lights and things.
Yeah.
It's like, surely the timer running all day doesn't actually save them.
Like, see, again, I'd need the Google AI thing because I can't figure those plug things. There's just too many things, and I'm like, it's on or off. I'm black or white. You know, I can't be doing setting up that like this really isn't marketing news. When they installed the heating, there's 75 different functions. I just want to be able to go, I want that there. But I've got to go into all different menus, and I'm not doing it. They're just all off. So they'll come back on in about October.
You have to be careful as well when you're thinking, like when you become really conscious of what you're throwing out. Sometimes you can turn into a bit of a hoarder.
Yeah.
So I've fallen into that trap as well. In fact, I was at Emma might be watching, all right? But she stood in front of me and she'd got these 2 things in her hand. Basically, it was Eliza's birthday and one of Emma's friends, a lovely couple, and they had got Eliza these 2 giant helium balloons. Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
And they were the rings that are the weights at the bottom of the balloons.
Oh, yeah.
And then I sort of stood there with the 2 of them going, should I keep these? Do you think I'll use them for something? And I just looked at her and I was like, no.
Yeah, no.
And she just like looked at me and looked at these rings and looked at me again. But this is the problem. Like when you start thinking, right, I'm only going to I'm going to be careful about what goes into refuse and the rest of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can go too far.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I did get to the part. Well, I mean, the amount of Tupperware tubs and things, or like, even if say something comes in a nice tub or something, I'll keep that.
You know those little. Have you ever seen those John West? They're little reds. They're about
Little tuna pots.
the little tuna pots, right?
That's a good tub.
Yeah, perfect size for a portion of nuts.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's gonna be Tupperware top 10.
Almond, yeah, almonds.
The Tupperware top of the pops. Top of the
right,
pop.
okay. Right, let's move it on. Now we've had a beautiful segue into right. So what we've talked about Meta.
Bring it back.
There wasn't anything LinkedIn wise this week, I don't think.
No, nothing LinkedIn.
Oh no, there is something LinkedIn, just something I've noticed. So a few weeks ago we talked about, the contributor articles.
Yeah.
So they were going to make it easier for you to access those. So where you go to write a post now, you've got a contributor button.
Nice.
I'd say on pretty much every client now, that's rolled out. So if you haven't got it yet, it probably is coming very, very soon. And I was feeling like mine was one of the last accounts to go over, and I've got it now. So there you go. So that's it. Instagram. Now, didn't you? Yeah. You had that Instagram, didn't you?
So and this is a tiny thing. I've been loving the extra little features for the buttons that we spoke about last week.
Oh, the stickers, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been using those. And just something that I noticed last night, when you're on TikTok and you've watched a video, if you then go to that person, so I've watched a video, I want to see more of that creator, fly. When you go onto their profile, it blacks it out and says like just watched or something like that. Yeah, and now on Instagram it comes up the same sort of blacked out and it says just seen. So it's a pointless one. I don't really understand. I mean, the only reason that I like it on TikTok is if there's a part 1 and a part 2. So I know where I am, because usually for some reason it's the algorithm is showing me something from like so long ago. So that's good, but I don't really know why else. I know what I've just seen because I've just seen it. Do you know what I mean?
But I think if you're going looking for something specifically, or it's the next thing, then it does make it easy to find it. Because you go to someone's profile and you're like, where's that next thing that's following?
Yeah, again, black and white. If it's not there, it's not happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting you talk about. So that's obviously on Reels.
Yeah.
So there was an event. And there were people there from Instagram speaking, and they were talking about, basically like how to make sure things work for you and all that sort of stuff. And one of the things that they said is longer reels can hurt performance.
Oh.
So you know how everyone's like, oh yeah, Christina, you're saying I've got to do a video. How long does it need to be? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just get the video done.
Yeah.
If you're worried about not recording a video that's long enough, doesn't matter, because actually keeping it under 90 seconds, so for Instagram, under 90 seconds, they're saying that's what works best.
Cool.
And we've kind of got we keep going round around the circles on this. It was like the short form, 15, 30-second content, that extended to 90 seconds. Then we're talking about 5 minutes and the rest of it, because we're thinking about other platforms too and blah, blah, blah. And now it's gone shorter again. But I do think different platforms is different length of video. But just think about Instagram. So basically, it's like you can upload longer videos to Instagram, but your reels are maxed at 90 seconds anyway.
Yeah.
So just keep your videos under 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Or just, if it's a longer video, if you're using a format where you're kind of delivering your message within the first 90 seconds and then using the rest of the video to deep dive into elements of what you've said, then you can just clip the first 90 seconds and it's happy days.
Yeah.
The other thing they did confirm is that if you've made that video and it's got like a watermark from TikTok or anywhere else, basically those third-party watermarks, that's going to help the way that your the way that your content is distributed as well. So
Interesting, because I always thought that would hurt the algorithm. Like,
yeah,
you know, if you're, because nobody wants, you know, Instagram doesn't want TikTok's logo bit flying around.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what they're saying. So like they're monitoring for that, and it's hurting distribution. Guess who's messaging me now?
Emma.
No, Deb. I'm like, the phone is, and the thing is, I love her, but she's one of those people that sends you loads of messages all at once. So my phone's buzzing like crazy. I'm like, Debs, it's live lunch. I do love a voice note. So yeah, things that hurt distribution.
Go away.
If you're engagement bait, then reels over 90 seconds. Yeah, the third party watermarks. Basically, low quality video.
Okay.
But to be honest, with the devices that we've got, there's no excuse for low quality video.
No.
I don't even know how you'd manage to record low quality video.
Yeah, honestly, it does. She is bonkers, Paul, but she is incredibly busy.
Yeah.
Somebody posted something and they put a video on, and I swear it was like watching a 90s episode of You've Been Framed. The quality was that bad. I was like, how have you even got anything that would
record that way?
I don't.
This is the other thing they said. Okay, so posting content that you didn't make. So maybe they have nicked that video from somewhere else. They didn't make it. So like they're all the things that will hurt distribution.
Yeah.
And then the stuff that actually helps it, they said obvious things. So like the obvious stuff was post when your audience is online. Make sure you're authentic. So it was like, well, yeah, we know. But then they also said, so this is purely thinking about Instagram now. It's like post your content at the same time you're posting on other platforms.
Okay.
Which that struck me as odd. Because normally, like we would be saying, don't post everywhere all at the same time. Like if you're going to do it on LinkedIn in the morning, maybe you're going to do it on Instagram tomorrow afternoon, and spread things around so you're not hitting all platforms with the exact same thing at the exact same time. There are times where you would do, like if you're announcing something or
of course,
but yeah, general sort of everyday evergreen content, you'd want to spread it about a bit. But yeah, they're saying post your content everywhere at the same time, and I'm not
a fan.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm not a fan.
Like you say, it's if somebody's following you on multiple accounts, if they're seeing the same message going out on the same time, they're going to go, well, I ain't bloody following you on Facebook if I've got you on Instagram.
I unfollowed someone this morning because...
Was it me?
No, not this time. Part of my pattern is, right, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Like, I go through them really quick, and then that's it. In terms of my own social media usage, that's put away. I'm on client work now.
Yeah.
And there was like, literally, it was like, well, I've seen that already on Facebook and I've seen it already on LinkedIn. And so I was like, right, I only need to follow you in one place.
Yeah.
And so I unfollowed them everywhere apart from the one place where I know they're most active.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is from a user perspective, I was like, I don't like that. But if that's what they're saying helps. Now, I wouldn't put every post out at the same time on all platforms. Has she voice noted you back now?
She voice noted me, yeah.
What? I didn't get that.
What? I don't.
Go on. Response.
I said, bugger off. We're on live lunch. And also, why aren't you watching? Thanks, love you. Bye.
Bless her. So Debs is working on a massive project right now for one of our clients, and it is I mean, to be fair, I think when people are thinking about design work, they think it's just about making it pretty. They don't realise just how much is involved, and especially when you're laying out text and things like that. And we used to have it like with Mark as well. Like he'd have a big project from a client, and they keep like you've got the final deadline, and then text changes keep coming back. Can we just add this in? And it's like you don't realise that actually just adding that extra 2 sentences there could change the design of the whole page.
Yeah, I remember with Mark.
That's probably an exaggeration, but it is like you don't realise just how much these tweaks affect everything. You know, changing the spacing on page 5 of a brochure actually then changes what's on page 6 and 7, and maybe it's page 11 before you can. You know, it is.
I do remember there used to be a "do not talk to him."
Yeah.
Usually around this time of year, just don't even ask.
You're not allowed to.
Do not poke the bear. Just leave him in his cave.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was on a call with Debs yesterday, screen sharing with her, literally just watching her work for about 2 hour and a half, 2 hours. It was, you know, we were on the phone together, the three of us, and then we said, right, we went, Kim, we're done with you now, go away.
Well, I actually, I said my phone's ringing. I've got to go. It wasn't ringing. I just couldn't. No.
Yeah, it was intense. But yeah, literally, we were then like probably an hour and a half. Yeah, probably about an hour and a half screen sharing, and she was showing me what she'd done, and I'm like, okay, well, what if we do? Like, could you move that bit to there? And like, does that give you what you? Because it's such a complex project that she's working on. So bless her. We're taking the mickey out of her a little bit for interrupting us at live lunch, but right now that woman has no sense of time. Is that a response you can play live?
Yeah, I can play it live, yeah. Hang on. That's why I just had it on.
Sorry.
Oh.
Just because you guys got nothing to do apart from chat away on live lunch, I'm dead busy and I need help and questions answering. All right. Just keep forgetting about it.
I sent another one, but I haven't vetted that one, so we're not going to listen to that.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I think we're almost done, and we can give us some time.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then you know, the other thing with Reels is
notes, wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Just before we do that, but like, just think about this whole Reel thing. Like back in December, I wrote an article saying, like, what's the big thing for this year? And I talked about edutainment. Okay, so content that entertains and educates in the same way. And I've seen an article came out, I think it was last week. Probably like Friday last week, that said exactly that. Marketers need to focus more on, they're saying to focus more on entertainment content. But then within the article, they talked loads about Reels, loads about video. So it is like, how can we entertain whilst educating? And this is, you know, what that means to you as a business. People that watch this, there's elements of it that is entertainment. Like me going on a rant, us having a bit of banter, like the thing just then with Debs. It's like, you know, for some people that is like, you know, it's their version of Big Brother to a certain extreme, I guess. For other people, it isn't. Like, for, you know, a video of us doing some ridiculous TikTok trend would be entertaining for some people. There's some of your Reels that you've done. The one Kim has this fantastic video of her and her friend, and I can't remember where you are, but you've got an inflatable microphone.
Oh, yeah.
You're just around, and you're literally. It's like
right. Let me set the scene. Let me set the scene. So we went to an R&B brunch, and we thought we'd take some inflatable microphones, just have a little sing-song to some old school bangers. Lovely. We had a great time. My friend had a bit of a nicer time than I did because she'd had 2 drinks, I think. It was only 2. And as we're walking through the streets of Birmingham, the football had just finished. Okay. So you've got the lads from the football that have clearly been boozed up for hours. And we then basically, we played a game of what's your name and where'd you come from. Now, the amazing thing about having an inflatable microphone is you put it in a stranger's face and say, what's your name, where'd you come from? They will answer. And we just had the best time. It was just great.
Love it. And it was, the thing is, it was really entertaining.
Yeah.
Really, really entertaining. And it's
people were loving it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you think about it, so we talked earlier about the whole AI thing. AI can't entertain you.
No.
Not yet, anyway. And I think even when it gets to a point where there is some kind of AI entertainment, which the more I say it just sounds really, really freaking wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one's going to be able to entertain you the way another human is going to entertain you through content. So maybe we're not going to be looking for people clicking through to our websites, to our articles from a Google search. But if we can produce a 90-second video, 60-second video that works brilliantly as a reel, that is entertaining, teaches something within that as well, tells a little story, then people won't even go to Google, they'll just come to us direct.
We need to do some more entertainment.
Yeah, we do. I just think this is as entertaining as I get.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I feel like we could have a lot of fun.
I feel like I'm entertaining in the moment. But if you ask me to sit down and think of like 10 things that I could do that would be entertaining, I'm like, I probably think of 10 things.
No, but you don't need to do that, because we could, you know what we're like, we'll just be walking to or from a coffee shop, bang, Christina, woof. And then you just, I feel like that's how we do it. We do structure for our clients and stuff, but the creative stuff, it just comes.
The thing, when I get an idea, I just record it.
There you go.
Like we tell people you should content plan, you should do this, you should do that. No, I know my core messages, and when I get a dose of inspiration, I just do it. Doesn't matter what my hair looks like, doesn't matter whether I've got my makeup on, I just do it. Like wherever I am, I just make sure that I'm somewhere, like, you know, the background is at least half reasonable. You know, and it's I think that's the key. The more we can record content in the moment, like if we want to be authentic, that's how we create authentic content. Record it in the moment, don't overthink it.
Yeah. See, I will quite happily record things as I'm walking back from the school run or whatever, bang, 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 just off the cuff. But if someone says, right, we're going to do this, go, I can't do it. It makes me feel really self-conscious and but if I'm just, you know, I've had a thought and I'm like, easy. But
see, I think I can do it. Yeah, I think I can do it in pretty much every situation now. It's just
all right, you're better than me. Okay.
It's just wanting to. Oh, that's fine. We just had a message from Sam over on Facebook. Oh my gosh, is it Thursday? This is how I know it's Thursday, because it's
the only reason I know it's Thursday.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. I think we should draw it to a close there. Here's the reason why. We've just talked about how crazy Debs is at the minute with the work she's doing. She's got questions that need answering, and I've got a meeting at 1 o'clock. So if we finish now, some thoughts.
You're welcome, Samantha.
Basically, if we finish now, that gives me 10 minutes to answer Deb's questions, check in with her, make sure she's not too stressed.
Yeah.
A minute to run to the loo, and then I'll be on my call.
Good. Thanks for the update. See you next week then, everyone.
See you later, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back at 12 o'clock next week for episode 202 of the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Paul Green, if you're still on, make sure that you send us the contact for your CO2 carbon neutral contact. And Kim, remind me, I've just had an idea. I know some AI tech people that I reckon we might be able to get them on for a bit of a giggle as well.
Let's do it.
I think we can get them. We'll have a chat about that.
Join us for another episode of the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Bye for now. That's what you're going to say, isn't it?
No.
Sorry. Well, you never let me do it.
Go on, you do it.
No, I've done it.
Oh, but I feel like I haven't hit the button and now it feels a bit weird. So do it again.
Okay. Join us again next week for another episode of the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Bye for now.